Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Terry Talk. This week, never judge a book by its cover. That's an old adage we've heard for many, many years, and it has direct applicability on this week's topic. Recently, an article by Kristin Lee Sotak, just published 2024, was in Harvard Business Review, talked about how clothing, yes, you heard that right, how clothing your choices in clothing impact people's perceptions, and how you dress has an impact on how people see you. And interestingly, on two topics, integrity and ethics. So there were different reactions to different styles of dress. They looked at business formal dress, business casual, sort of the norm today in a lot of places, and casual. In the first study, they had written descriptions of various fictional employees that included dress. And then they asked respondents sort of their gut check on how ethical is that person based on the description you read of the individual. And what came out of that study was that those described as wearing business formal wear were seen as more ethical than those in biz casual and more than those described as wearing casual clothing. Interesting. So then they said, okay, well, we're going to move away from descriptions and actually moved into actual images. And they cropped out faces, so facial expressions and, race and all those sorts of different confounding variables were eliminated. They got rid of body language and those sorts of things and used neutral tones so that that didn't unduly influence the outcome. And again, gut check on how ethical are these people. This time, biz casual rated higher. There was no perceived difference between business formal wear and business casual, but both of those were seen as being people in those clothing choices were seen as more ethical than those in business casual. Or it's not business casual, casual period. So perhaps the outcome of this is biz casual is the happy medium, or dare I say, the hybrid approach to how to dress for work these days. So bottom line is the suitability of attire, and also has a contextual piece to it. So is it a workplace or social event? Turns out that when you move to social events, things change. Even fashionable or even casual attire can be seen as ethical if it's deemed contextually appropriate. It's in the right setting. Not so much for business, more for social. Interesting. So I think there's a couple of things we want to take into consideration as we navigate this in our organizations. This study underscores how stereotypes will influence trust and ethical judgment. So obviously it has an impact on recruitment and interviewing biases that might exist. We need to understand that these biases exist, and candidates and appropriate attire may be unfairly advantaged over those with unconventional styles. And of course, moving to more structured approaches and maybe some blind evaluation techniques may help here, but awareness is going to be key. Also, workplace policy. Our organization should probably define clear yet flexible dress codes to balance professionalism, but also with inclusivity and diversity. Again, unconscious bias training here and awareness probably helpful. And from a leadership perspective, leaders can use this to self-reflect on how their vision, the visual cues they're receiving, may influence their assessment of team members, and do that appropriately. So a couple things for HR: look at your dress codes, train your hiring teams, look at your policy reviews around dress codes. In leadership, promote inclusivity and make sure that you have feedback mechanisms so people can provide input into this. Thought this was fascinating research. As always, love to hear your thoughts on this. Drop us a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon.